Joe feel. Ha ha! Alright, cool. Come on, let's get out of here. Yo, welcome to another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. Today I want to talk about a couple of different things. Actually, there's a lot I want to talk about, but I haven't been making the videos like I should. I'm trying to make them every single day, but between finishing up my book, which I'm currently in the editing phase, I will be, hopefully I'm trying to release it a little bit before July, but it's probably looking like July. Still got to work on the cover. I got to do my final editing. It's a process. Anybody else who's a writer knows that the hardest part of writing is literally writing. So I got the first step basically done, but that's besides the point. So today what I really want to talk about is a couple different things. Right now I want to talk about this Russia and America and England interaction that's going on. So a couple videos ago I spoke about how a chemical toxin was released and basically almost killed a British double agent and his daughter. And what ended up happening was the British intelligence or the British community basically put out Russian diplomats. Russia then kicked out British diplomats. And what ended up happening is America actually kicked out some Russian diplomats as well, and a couple of other countries. They are in conjunction with the British rule. So what we currently have is sides, people picking sides. Russia has said that they are going to retaliate, that there will be punishment for what they're saying is unfair treatment, as the Russian government, Vladimir Putin to be specific, believes that he's being targeted, and that basically America specifically is out to destroy the Russian community, basically, for lack of better words. And the reason why this is important, the reason why I'm bringing this up is this is, as I said, this could seriously lead us into another world war. This could lead us into World War III. A lot of people were afraid that the whole Korea interaction would be what would take us into World War III. But as we currently see, North Korea, South Korea, and China, they're all talking to one another. They're all trying to, work out their differences and join up in unity, which I promote all collective thinking. I promote unity all around, but this is extremely important. This could be a serious issue, especially if Russia really is pushing a war agenda per se. Another thing with Russia is this Facebook Analytica. Anybody who personally knows me knows that I've been away from Facebook for, I want to say maybe 5-7 years, something like that. I haven't been on there for quite some time. I just recently got back on social media in general, specifically Facebook. I just got back on Facebook to really just promote my works. But in 2011, Facebook was fine. They were given rules pertaining to privacy of their users, because in 2011 they were caught giving out user information to third-party people. And so the government stepped in and basically told them that they can't do that, that they need to be more transparent with what it is that they're doing with our information. As we know, the whole Facebook Analytica scandal burst out, where 50 million people, I believe it was, 50 million Facebook users' information was shared with a third party who happens to be in Russia, and they used that information to then spread propaganda and promote the Russian agenda, which could possibly be getting Donald Trump into the White House and not Hillary Clinton. And I'm not gonna get into the whole conspiracy theory of Trump being a Russian spy or working with Russia in any way, shape, or form, because if you look at who voted for Donald Trump, white males, the majority of his votes came from the white population. white men specifically, and then after them came white women, which is to be expected. But nonetheless, I believe that what the real problem is with this is Facebook doesn't care about its users. If you know anything about social media, the way that social media works is the reason why it's free is they take the information that you're putting on your social media and they are then selling it to advertisers so that they can target you to sell you specific things. That's why if you look at your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed or any of your social media, you'll see that many a times the commercials or the advertisements that they're pushing towards you is something that you had posted about, looked up on your Google account. Maybe a friend may have commented and you might have liked it. But basically the way social media works, the reason why it's free is that they're selling our information. They're selling the information of the users as they put it on the websites. So currently the government is thinking about regulating Facebook. They actually were thinking about putting in more rules and restrictions as far as what Facebook can and can't do with user information. And currently Mark Zuckerberg, what he did was he basically changed up Facebook. So right now, if you go onto your Facebook, there are settings that you can now play with for your privacy to decide how much information Facebook has and can have pertaining to you, as well as what information they can and can't give out to third-party members. And then, you know, there were talks about making Facebook private in the sense that they would start charging people to use their social media website, which then becomes who's really going to pay for social media. I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of social media, although it doesn't, because if you're now paying for it, you can then say, I don't want my information shared. Being that social media is free, they really get to decide what it is that they do with our information, as well as when you click on that agree, everybody just kind of clicks through agree, allow. You're really allowing these social media sites to access to your phone, your text messages, your contact information, and they take that information and then they sell it. There's really no one knows what they're going to do with it. Another thing was becoming, if life insurance companies buy this information from social medias, they could potentially start charging people different rates for health insurance, different rates for life insurance. They could start really doing different things to us. You'll be surprised the amount of information that you put on your social media. So that was just something that I really wanted, that I thought that everybody should pay attention to. Facebook Analytica and what it is that our social media community or our social media society, how it's changing, because it is currently changing. Instagram, as we all know, Instagram is owned by Facebook. So depending on how this whole Facebook thing goes, you'll see some changes coming to your Instagram as well. Another thing I wanted to talk about is HR 1865, also known as FOSTA, FOSTA. And FOSTA, or HR 1865, is basically a law that Congress put into place, saying that websites are unable to allow sex or prostitution. So they shut down portions of Craigslist because the personals, to be more specific, the personal section, because it was being used for prostitution or sexual transactions. So they shut that down. Now, the main reason why I'm bringing this up right now is, one, I want back my Craigslist, I want back the personals. I think that that's important, that people are allowed to get online and look for other people regardless of what kinds of people they're looking for. As you know, there are web browsers like Tor, which would allow you to get into the dark web. But this locking down Craigslist like that is no good. They didn't even shut down Backpage. That website's still up, and that's a known prostitution website. But Craigslist, they did shut down. And the reason why these regulations on websites is important is they already took away the net neutrality laws. And as we all know, what's going to come from that is our ISPs, or our internet service providers, are definitely going to change the way that we pay for the internet. They're going to change the way that we surf the web. And once they start regulating websites, saying what websites can and can't sell, or what they can and can't allow users to do on their websites. We're talking about restrictions. So I'm just asking that everybody just pays attention to this Facebook Analytica scandal, as that's going to shape our social network. HR 1865, that's something that we should everybody should look into. And also Russia versus the world.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe.